So hey guys, it's been a little while since I've sat down and talked to the camera, and thought we'd do that today. Give you just a little rough idea on some updates or just some things I guess that have been kind of going on in my head a little bit with the channel here, as well as just some things that have been going on in the background here. We've been doing some planning and stuff here lately. That's kind of what's been going on. Been a little quiet here, making videos. Just not the glamorous of stuff to share. We've been planning out the garden here, planning out our livestock. Some of the things that we're going to change and improve on. And that stuff I hope to address here in an up-and-coming video here. Talk a little bit about some of our garden plans, what we're planning on changing. There'll definitely be some challenges that come along with this year. And I'd like to talk about how we're going to address some of those things. Also, just some of the legwork here, rounding up some wood chips. I've been kind of on a hunt here, trying to get that stuff going before it gets too wild and busy here. And garden season's already upon us. So, doing a little bit of that legwork. Garden stuff, I'm pretty excited. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff to come this year. And we're going to obviously expand our garden, push it a little bit harder again this year, and try some things. We're going to go back. I think this is going to be a year for us of improving or perfecting things a little bit better, get a little bit better at getting some things. For example, last year I felt like we grew a decent quantity of sweet corn for our family. It seemed like a good mix. I think the amount that we have left here should carry us till hopefully the end of the summer here. And the blanching and freezing side of stuff went really well, but our canning of our sweet corn ended up being pretty starchy. So we have like 5 or 6 different varieties of corn seeds in hand right now. We're just really trying to narrow it down on the varieties that we're going to put in. We are going to do a popcorn variety. We are going to do a field corn with the intent of doing like a cornmeal for our own use, as well as some animal feed. But this probably won't be the year of producing all our animal feed, if that's even physically possible at this point. But it will be a year of growing our seed bank in some ways to get ramped up and ready for that in the up and coming year. So, and then of course getting our sweet corn stuff perfected down a little bit more. And that's just the corn department. There's so much stuff in all the other crops. So that's a little bit about what's kind of been going on behind the scenes here. Been doing a little bit of soul searching, I guess, in some ways, trying to figure out what to do with the channel. I get torn a little bit. I never really saw myself making a lot of YouTube videos. I really do enjoy it. I think one of the parts I like the most is just the interaction with you guys, reading the comments. I feel very fortunate. You know, we've been a fairly slow-growing channel, but I guess that isn't always necessarily a bad thing. There are times I wish we were growing faster, but at the same time, I look at the community that's around this channel, and I feel very, very blessed. I think we have one of the best communities out there. There's very positive stuff. Usually if people disagree with stuff or have a different perspective on something, people are usually pretty respectful on the way they present that. And that's a good thing. I mean, if you don't agree with something or like to challenge something that we're sharing, I mean, one, I can learn from it. You know, if there's something you don't agree, or maybe I overlook something. If you surround yourself, I guess, in some ways by people that always agree with you, you're not really doing yourself a favor, because you're not getting a different perspective. You're not being challenged. You don't really get that opportunity quite as easily to look at things in a little bit different perspective, I guess, in some ways, and from someone else's shoes or a different point of view. So I feel very fortunate, and I can't thank you guys enough that have been around this channel for a while now. I feel very, very fortunate. As I guess the part I've been a little bit torn about, I'd like to grow the channel in some ways at a little faster pace. At the same time, I look at some of the larger channels out there and the comment section and the filth that comes along with that, and it's like, do I really want that to be a part of my life? I struggle sometimes because, you know, getting involved with social media and stuff, it's hard. It's time consuming, and sometimes I feel like it goes against our personal objectives at times. Like, I think there's a fine balancing point, I guess, with some of that, where if I end up getting sucked into too much of watching all these other YouTube videos or spending time on social media, I feel like it's kind of going against the grain of what we're trying to accomplish. You know, we're just looking for a simpler life, be able to spend more quality time as a family together, and just live a I don't know if like more traditional type of lifestyle is the way to do it, but a more fulfilling, meaningful life, I guess, in some ways with the people that are close to us. But then at the same time, you know, like I feel like we have this community at YouTube, and I don't want people to feel left out. So it's like trying to find that balancing point of how much time do you spend in certain areas. So I guess I've kind of fallen into making these videos in somewhat of a weird way. I really enjoy making videos. I think the thing, I'll just tell you guys, I guess, a little bit how I got into it. We had basically went out and bought this video camera to be able to start capturing my daughter's life. Because all we had was these cell phones that were very difficult to even get the videos off. You know, sort of an old pay-as-you-go track one. It was nothing very fancy at all, and it was just wasn't the ideal thing to be able to capture some of this stuff. So we bought this camera, and at the time we had satellite internet, so it was very limited. Didn't really spend much time on YouTube, but I do distinctly remember watching 2 channels, and I really enjoyed their videos. They basically are what inspired me to start making videos. One was like Braeden Rockwell, something like that. I'll put links to both these channels in the description below. The other one was like FMC something. He was mostly a dirt bike channel, but he had one really nice firewood cutting montage type video that I really, really liked and fell in love with a lot. And then that Brendan had a bunch of firewood cutting videos. His first 3 I really liked. I'll put links to those in the description, but if you're someone that gets offended by not very safe practices, this probably isn't the stuff for you to watch. But if you're like watching like Rocky and listen to that theme music and get pumped up, this is kind of that video. He's going out and cutting firewood and just kind of gets you all pumped up about it. So I had found their videos. I really liked them. There wasn't a lot of other videos like that at the time. So when I started making videos, the very first video, it's still out there, was basically me doing an interpretation of that type of stuff. It was me going down, cutting firewood at the neighbor's house and filming it. Had a great response there. I think there was like 129 views in the first 24 hours or something like that. And I just couldn't believe it. I was just floored. And I got a couple private messages. I think there was a couple comments asking a couple questions. And I wasn't quite ready to turn on the camera and talk directly to the camera and answer these things. So I wanted to sort of break in lightly. So what we had just got our log splitter, and of course I could film the log splitter doing most of the work, do a couple different shots of the thing, you know, working, and then talk about the things I like and didn't like about the splitter, and very limited. And if you go watch that video, that one, well, you can tell I am not very comfortable in front of the camera. Something I've gotten better at, but I'm still not there, you know. So that's kind of how I got into making videos. I didn't really ever have an intention of sitting down and kind of sharing our perspective of life. But as time has gone on and the community that's come around this channel, it's been very encouraging. And I feel very protective over the community that we have here. It's like I don't want that other filth to get in there, but I'd like to invite others in as well that have very similar perspectives. So I don't know. I guess what I wanted to say to you guys is thank you for all the support and everything you guys have offered up. It has really meant a lot. It really helps kind of keep me going. I like making videos. I like sharing stuff like that. But sometimes it just, I'm not really quite sure where to go with things at times with the channel. So I don't know. So anyways, I think I'll wrap this up here. I've probably been rambling on forever. And just wanted to kind of reach out and say thank you to you guys, and just give you a little update on what's been going on around our place. A lot to come here, so I'm really looking forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.